All right, hi everybody. It is Friday, March the 19th. I want to give you an update on the severe weather threat for the upcoming weekend as the threat level, which I've been showing you throughout the week from the Storm Prediction Center, has inched upward a bit, especially for our southern counties, now into that level 4 risk. Many of us locally level 3, but parts of North Georgia, North Alabama, creeping up a bit to a level 4 enhanced risk, or moderate risk, excuse me, then a high risk farther south down the Birmingham area in central parts of Alabama. So the threat continues to increase as we're now in that 24 hours or less. More of the high resolution model data is coming in. You can kind of start honing in on where the highest risk factors are and more on the timing. And the timing can still change quite a bit as we go through the day on Saturday. As I've been talking about the past several days, there could be 3 different stages of this. One, a first round in the morning. We'll have to see what's left of a line that develops overnight well off to our west. That has a low severe threat, but don't discount it. We'll keep an eye on that. And then there'll be the conditional threat if we see any development during the afternoon. Some of those could be severe, what we call discrete supercells that can produce severe damaging wind gusts, even isolated tornadoes. And then, of course, the main line arriving during the evening through the overnight hours. We know that one's coming. That stage 3 is coming. But we'll have to see if first that line during the morning has any severity and any cells that develop during the afternoon. If we don't have the cells developing during the afternoon, there may be a lull between the morning and evening, but don't get complacent because we'll still have that main line coming during the evening and overnight hours. So my goal here again is never to scare you. It is first and foremost to prepare you so you know what to expect as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours. And it starts off by talking about how to stay safe. I mentioned having multiple ways of receiving storm alerts, whether it's by a mobile device. You can download the free Storm Track 9 app. Make sure your location services are turned on, and you'll get those alerts. Make sure the volume's turned up so you can hear that alert. Also, on your wireless provider, WEA alerts, they send those as well. Have your location services turned on. I should also add that with the high potential of power outages, keep these mobile devices charged as long as possible. Okay, so if you don't have power, you can still get our updates and still get those alerts passed on to you. Also, no alert radio is great to have because it has a backup battery in it. So if power goes out, that battery is still fresh as long as you have a fresh battery in it. And be sure it's programmed for your county. If you need information on programming the weather radio and the county code, it's on my Facebook page. If you're on the Facebook page getting this shared to you, just like my page, scroll down. You'll see that. It's also available on the News Channel 9 main page, the weather section. It'll be a tab that says how to program your weather radio. It's right there for you. And now's the time to start doing that and having an action plan ready for your house so you know what to do and where to go. So let me shrink myself here and show you a little bit more of what we're talking about here as far as staying safe. And I can't stress this enough. When it comes to safety, mobile homes simply are not safe, okay? They're not. Now, today's the time that if you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, you need to be making plans to spend the stormy period somewhere else, whether in a storm shelter. And as far as shelters in your county, you need to check with your county officials, your local EMA officials, for a location and list of shelters in your county, in your community, okay? Or a local business as a shelter. That's where you need to be because even strong wind gusts with a severe thunderstorm, 70, 75 miles an hour can do damage to a mobile home and a manufactured home. Doesn't have to be a tornado always. Just strong straight line winds can cause damage, so you don't want to be in there. So all these other safety features we talk about interior rooms, bathroom, closet, does not apply to mobile homes, okay? Nowhere inside is safe. Also, what's not safe is the top floor of buildings or homes. You always want to be in the lowest level, okay? Large apartment complexes have lower level basements and shelters in there. Be sure to check where you are for that. And even large open rooms. We always advise to be in a hallway, a closet, a bathroom, anywhere that's away from the outside windows, okay, where you got more walls protecting you, okay? Stay low, cover your head. Even have a bicycle helmet. Great idea, okay? Anything to protect yourself from falling debris, okay? We certainly hope this does not get to that point for where you are, but you got to be prepared because it only takes seconds for these to develop. Sometimes you get only a few minutes to get the warning and get to the place of safety, so you need to know where to go. As I just mentioned, the best places to go, into your room. If you have a basement, even better. But again, don't just be wide open in the basement, kind of be up against a wall, protecting you there. And stay away from windows by all means. Even straight line winds can shatter windows. Okay, so that is the safe versus not safe factors here when we're dealing with severe storms and tornadoes. Let's also touch on watch versus warning. I get asked this all the time, and it's good that we clear up this point. A watch basically means that for a 4 to 6 hour period, that's usually how long they go, that hazardous weather, whether it be severe thunderstorms or tornadoes, are possible. So at that point, think about your action plan, have it in mind, be ready to go, so that if a warning is issued, it means a couple of things. Either one, a storm is happening like a severe thunderstorm, or a tornado is either spotted by radar, it's either radar indicated as we call it, or it's been officially confirmed on the ground. At that point, you take action immediately. So watch, we're on the lookout. Warning, take action immediately. Okay? That just want to make sure that we all know we're all on the same page on that aspect. All right, this afternoon, it is breezy. We'll have wind gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour at times throughout the afternoon. Clouds in and out, but temperature's very warm. And this evening, still going to be dry. So if you have any dinner plans this evening going out, it's fine. It'll be okay. Main concern will be, first of all, late overnight and first thing in the morning. Here's our big weather maker, and it's getting cranked up here across the Plain States, right here. And it's going to be a major wind maker, okay? And we'll be dealing with the first round of severe weather to our west will be with this low as it moves off to the north and east. What we're going to watch is another low that's going to develop down here. So it's going to develop down here and move this direction tomorrow. The problem here is that low is going over an area that aloft is very ventilated. There's divergence aloft. It's going to promote rapid growth and explosive development of storms when they happen. First of all, over Mississippi and especially Alabama. Let's see how much of that translates our way during the afternoon. Then, of course, the main line. So there's a lot of energy these storms can tap into. That's why there's so much concern. You see the ingredients there. The question is, though, on exact locations of where that will strike. And, again, the Storm Prediction Center is doing a great job. The modeling data is helping us out, kind of identify where those high risk factors are. So let's take a look at that, where the highest factors are. We'll start with that chance for severe storms first thing in the morning. Notice the risk factor through tomorrow morning is higher to our west. This is for later today, tonight. That chance is higher, level 2, 3, and 4 off to the west, western Tennessee and areas west of I-65. Then what's left of that, we have a low-end severe threat. Don't want to discount that, okay? Be aware of that. But I'd say 5 to 8 a.m., we'll see what happens with that line. It may linger to about 9, 10 a.m. Could have an impact on stabilizing things for later in the day. Sure, it could. That's one factor tomorrow that we'll have to watch. It could. But at this point, it's all purely speculative because we don't know how much that would be left. If there's not much left in it, it just kind of fades out. It won't stabilize things much at all. That is one thing we'll have to watch. And that, of course, is stage 1 that we talk about throughout the day tomorrow. Then we turn our attention to the main time tomorrow. And you notice what's happening here. If you've been watching this all week long, as we get closer to the event, notice how the level 4 now covers a large part of our viewing area. You basically draw a line from Chickamauga, Trenton, and south locally. Level 4, level 5 to the south of Birmingham. That's the highest risk on that scale of 1 to 5. So most of us are level 3. Parcels level 4. That level 5 is not far away. Okay, so kind of honing in on this area being the highest risk for a strong severe storm to occur. That level 4 goes all the way to West Metro Atlanta. So you've got plans to be in Atlanta this weekend. Heads up, their risk factor is about the same as ours. Now, breaking this down a bit more, we'll zoom in. Again, as I mentioned, you can basically draw a line here. If you look at communities like Calhoun, Lafayette, Chickamauga, Trenton, and South, that level 4, level 3, the rest of our viewing area. So let's just put it in a nutshell here. Level 3, level 4, area-wide basically means this is a high chance that severe storms could occur. All areas locally being pretty much equal except the far southwestern corner, southwest of the city. A little bit higher risk factor. So I know a lot of folks will be asking me, what about Fort Oglethorpe? What about Hickson? What about Pikeville? What about Inglewood? I'm answering that question for you. Most of us on that level 3, south and west level 4, we're all under a pretty heightened risk factor there that strong to severe storms could occur with all modes of severe weather possible. damaging wind gusts, tornadoes, and hail. Let's go through that breakdown for you also. This is, of course, very concerning. And we talked about this yesterday, this hatched area. When you see those lines like that, that's pretty dangerous. Here's what this breakdown means. So for most of us, it's a 10% chance that a tornado could occur within 25 miles of a point, okay? But add to that, because we have the dashed lines here, there's a heightened chance that a 10% chance or higher, equal to or higher than 10%, that of those tornadoes that develop, they could be EF2 strength or higher. So strong tornadoes, possible, okay? And that percentage goes higher to our south and west over portions of North Georgia, North Alabama. 15% chance overall, a little bit higher chance that a tornado could occur within 25 miles of the point. And of those, a 10% chance or greater that some of those could be EF2 or higher. So area-wide, this includes all of our viewing areas in that hatched area. So again, chance for a strong tornado is there. Not every storm is going to produce that, but some could. And your higher odds are south, but everybody locally needs to stay alert tomorrow. As far as damaging wind threat, pretty much equal area-wide, about a 30% chance area-wide that gusts could reach 75 miles an hour or higher, could reach severe threat. That is 60 miles an hour or higher. So everybody has that 30% chance. Then, because of the hash marks there, again, these hash marks represent a heightened severe weather threat. The hash marks mean that of those wind gusts, some of those have a 10% chance or greater chance of being 75 miles an hour or stronger. So in other words, you're looking at wind gusts 60, 75 miles an hour, reaching minimal hurricane strength. With some of those gusts, that can be pretty destructive. Aside from any tornado, the strong wind gusts can do a lot of damage, bringing trees down, power outages, can cause structural damage, okay? So it's a heightened chance. There's higher percentage chance of damaging wind gusts. Next in line, tornadoes. Also a chance for large hail. For most of us, there's that 15% chance that some storms could produce hail about the size of a quarter, okay? Then you get a little bit higher chance where it's hashed here. That means a little bit heightened chance that 10% chance or higher that some of the hail could be 2 inches in diameter, especially across parts of Franklin, Jackson, and DeKalb County, Alabama. So large hail is a problem. That can be destructive hail, okay? So overall, this is in summary here. You can see these bars on the chart have grown higher with time. Again, your highest chance threat level throughout the day is that for damaging wind gusts. Tornadoes now into that moderate range. Large hail also reaching the moderate range. Flooding, as far as widespread flooding, not so much. I think it's mainly going to be isolated with excessive runoff. If you live in a flood-prone area and you're like a drainage ditch or drainage creek, so to speak, that tends to flood, be aware of that. But as far as widespread, I don't anticipate that. But in spots, there will be areas where flooding could occur. But notice as we look at that wide view map, there's that hot spot right there. But here's the second hot spot. That's right over us. So kind of, if you look at this like a dartboard, okay, your bullseye's here, but your outer rings continue to go over most of our viewing area. So it's very concerning, and the reason why we want you to stay safe, the reason why I'm taking time here to explain this to you. Oftentimes in our newscasts, I have to explain this. Everything I do is unscripted. Okay, what I'm doing right now, my maps are my script, and on a newscast, it's the same thing. It's not scripted either. But I have to condense all of this. Like right now, I'm in long form. This is like a podcast. I can talk for 15, 20 minutes as long as I want to. But on a newscast, I got to condense this down to 2 or 3 minute segments at a time during a newscast. And so I have to, I may not be able to spend as much time on each topic there. So that's why I like to do these types of broadcasts to let you know more about it. And of course, tomorrow is going to be completely different because we'll be on our digital stream and live on air when needed, of course, as conditions warrant throughout the day. So we've got you covered throughout the day. Throughout that entire event tomorrow, we'll have you covered through that. Let's take a look at the future track. Through late evening tonight, it's going to be increasingly breezy, cloudy, not much going on. Now, models vary on that first round of rain. For example, a few spotty showers 5 a.m., what's left of a line out to the west, that's what we'll be watching. This model is a little bit later with that first line, and it shows mid to late morning, some of that coming in. And it concerns me because the later in the morning you get, if there's not been much early round of rain, then this could be a little bit stronger. So if this model timing is correct, because a lot of models have been changing a bit. And I'll show you the high res model, different points of view on the newscast tonight. We'll take a look at how they differ in their timing. But if this does develop, they want to keep an eye on this back here being potentially severe. And then once we get past midday, notice how, you see what appears to be like an area of nothing going on. Well, that is very concerning, because this is an area where you could have pretty explosive growth if storms happen. I made a half C there. I meant to make it a little bit better. Lost a little bit of signal there in our feed. Anyway, when you start getting wide open like this, is where it really starts to warm up. Okay, because if we don't get those early showers and get temperatures going up like that, that means any storms that do start developing, there's going to be ample energy there. So that's what really concerns me for the early to mid stage of the afternoon. And that is a great if these storms develop into the early mid stage of the afternoon. If they don't develop into the early mid stage of the afternoon, then our main focus shifts back to the west. So again, we're going to keep an eye on anything developing early. If it does, that's where you can get these supercells developing. Then we'll turn our attention to the main complex that starts arriving between 6 and 8 o'clock Eastern. I would just say once you get to dinner time and beyond, that's where our stage 3 main event comes from. So stage 1 is a morning chance. Stage 2 is a big if we get any of those supercells developing. Then here's stage 3 with this moving in. And this timing is a little faster on this model compared to what we've seen with others. But anyway, 6 to about 8 to 9 o'clock, that's where you start seeing more of these storms overspread the area. And again, when you form in a line like that, you have higher risk of damaging wind gusts, quick spin up tornadoes within the line, okay? And of course, very heavy rain. The back edge of the line is still back here. So 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening, when that starts moving in, this takes us to around 11:30. So the back edge of the line is back here. Still, again, ongoing severe chances within that line. It's hard to say, where's the individual severe storm happening? It's hard to say, but you can just, guess and speculate that it's going to be within those clusters there. Then once we get to like 2, 3 a.m., large part of it pushing away. There might still be some residual showers left over early Sunday morning, but at that point, not severe. So I think before sunrise, most of this is moved out. And Sunday, maybe still even an afternoon shower back, but it'll be breezy and gradually cooling off, and then really getting colder Sunday night, temperatures back into the 30s. So a lot of energy with the system, and the reason why there's a lot of concern. Let's talk about the wind gust, because everybody's experiencing the wind gust equally, okay? So we go through midnight, wind gusts 20 to 30 or higher at higher elevations, higher if we get any of those early morning storms coming in. And then Saturday morning, we're kind of in that 25, 35 range, peaking out around 40. Same thing during the afternoon. Okay, look at this. Wind gusts upwards of 40. And then you got daytime heating going on. There's going to be a lot of fuel right in there. So that early to mid stage of the afternoon, that model may not show a lot of developing. Other models have shown storms developing. And that's very concerning. That's at stage 2 we want to talk about during the afternoon. That's what we're going to keep an eye on for the afternoon, because things can still fluctuate and change with this. Then we go through the evening. Again, this is away from any storms. So away from any storms, we're going to gust 30 to 40. Could go as high as 50 at times outside these storms. Then within those storms, as I mentioned, those percentage chances where gusts could reach severe strength, which is 60 or higher, and then 75 or higher within some of those storms. Those are straight line winds moving in. And then even stronger if you get a tornado developing. By Sunday, a lot of the winds are dying down. It's still breezy Sunday, but not to the extent that it will be for tomorrow. Rainfall still kind of in that 2 to 3 inch range. The ensemble still in that basic average. The faster movement of the showers, the rates may come down a bit, but just keep that in mind as we go through later tomorrow night. A lot of rain falling in a short period of time will cause excessive runoff and problems, so to speak. So let me back this up one more time and to show you again before I close out this segment here. It's a very concerning risk coming up for tomorrow. One of the highest risks we've seen in quite a while. I'd say go back to Memorial Day weekend last year, the last chance we had level 3, level 4 threat locally with storms. A lot of those produced damage in gusts. We had a few isolated tornadoes with that as well. So I don't ever compare past events because they're all different in the setup. Okay. Like this one's different from the setup that we had Easter 5 years ago. This one's different from the setup that we had back Memorial Day last year. I'm just hearkening back to the last time we had 3 and 4 threat locally. But, with that threat tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, is high on the scale compared to what we typically see. So high winds, tornadoes, large hail, all 3 of those factors of severe storms are all possible. All the modes of severe weather are possible there. And the reason why we want you to stay safe and stay informed, the reason why I'm doing these broadcasts for you, just so you know what to do. So have that action plan, okay? Go over it with your family. Know what they need to do. Because you got to think about me first. I'm going to tell you my story. I'll be at work. My family's here. I've gone over this with my son to talk about, you're going to be here. Mom's going to be here. My mother-in-law lives with us. All of our pets here. How to keep everybody safe. They all know what to do. They all know where to go. They all have devices to make sure that they know what to do if in the event a warning is issued. Okay? So that's what you need to do with your family. I share my story so you can share it with your family as well and know how you can stay safe. Have an action plan can help us get through these things a whole lot better. Worrying doesn't do any good. Okay? Having an action plan, being prepared. Be prepared, not scared. Okay? And that's what we'll do and as well, and make sure that you are staying up to date. All right. Be sure you have those multiple ways of receiving alerts. Don't rely on outdoor sirens, folks. I know many communities have it, and it's great. That's fantastic. And again, they'll sound those, and that's fine. But don't rely on that being your only source of getting weather alerts. Okay. Utilize that mobile device. Utilize that no alert radio, and make sure that siren outside is just the far backup plan. Okay. All right, folks. I'll see you again in studio starting at 5:30, and 6 tonight with more updates, and we'll talk more about these elevated severe risk and ED timing issues and some of the various models on what they show. But everybody stay safe. All right. We'll keep you informed. We'll get through this. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your comments. Like my page. If it's been shared to you, you can also like my YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to it for more of these updates. All right, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see you again tonight at 5 o'clock.